Hi, welcome to a new video. This is Nitya. According to KVS syllabus, the first topic is living world. Today I am going to discuss about living world. So it is a broad concept. Under the living world, there are two main components. That is, one is living thing and second one is non-living thing. So living world main components are two types. They are living organism or non-living organism. Living organism is called as biotic, non-living organism is called as abiotic. So biotic components means it includes animals, plants and microorganisms. Abiotic components includes soil, air, water, sunlight, heat, rocks, etc. Mountain. These are abiotic components. So biotic components means it includes animals, plants, microorganisms. Abiotic means non-living things like mountain, air, soil, sunlight, heat, etc. are the examples of abiotic components. So next topic is habitat and adaptation. Habitat is nothing but the surrounding where the animal and plants live. That is, the region or a place where an organism lives is called habitat. So habitat provides an organism specific features which enable a plant or an animal to live in that surroundings. That is adaptation. All the living organisms have their own characteristics to survive surroundings. For example, camel. It's commonly seen in desert area. It has long legs that help them to keep their body away from the heat of a sand. So they do not sweat. They can live without water many days because in desert area there is no enough water. So next one is fish. Their streamlined shape help to move easily in water and gills help in using dissolved oxygen. Gill is a respiratory organ of a fish. Don't forget that, it is an important MCQ. So gill helps in using dissolved oxygen and the respiratory organ of a fish is gills. So there are two types of habitat, that is terrestrial, aquatic. Terrestrial means on land. For example, forest, desert, mountain region, grassland are some examples of terrestrial habitat. Next one, aquatic, that is in water. Example, pond, lakes, river, oceans. So desert area means photosynthesis in desert is seen in stems. Desert plant coated with wax. Roots go deep to absorb more water. Leaves are absent to prevent transpiration loss. So in the desert area, leaves are absent to prevent transpiration loss, that is in water loss. So there is no leaves, so photosynthesis in desert plants is seen in the stems. So next topic is habitat is mountain region. So it cone shaped trees with a slope like branches, needle like leaves, like thin leaves, animal thick fur to protect themselves from cold. So animals have a thick hair to protect themselves from cold. They have strong hooves, help goat to run on a rocky slope. The goat have a strong legs to run on a rocky slope. They have long hair to keep them warm. So next one is rainforest. Heavy rainfall, rich in animal life, mammals, amphibians, reptiles are found. Climate is hot and humid. Next, polar habitat is a cold region. Animals are mostly carnivorous. Carnivorous means they eat other animals. Thick fur to survive in cold, that is thick hair to survive in cold. Example, polar bear, penguins are some examples. Next habitat is aquatic habitat, oceans. Most organisms have streamlined bodies and gills. Whales have a blowhole instead of gills because this them to breathe easily. So the fish respiratory organ is gills, but whales the respiratory organ is blowholes. Don't forget that the whale have a blowholes instead of gills. Next one, freshwater habitat. 3% freshwater snails. Freshwater snakes are found in it. Ponds and lakes. Plant with root fixed in soil below the water. Stems are long, leaves are flat. So example, water lily, lotus. Frogs can live in water as well as on land. The animal which can live in water and land is called amphibians. Before going to discuss about characteristics of a living organism, we want to study about cell. It's an important part of a living organism. So let us start. Cell. Cell is a basic structural and functional unit of an organ is called as the cell. All plants and animals are made up of small unit, that is cell. Cell are the basic building block of all living things. We can see cell using microscope. Microscope is an instrument which is used to magnifying small things. It is invented by Anton van Leeuwenhoek. In 1665, Robert Hooke discovered the cell. A human body is made up of trillions of cells which vary in shapes and size. The shape of the cell depends upon the function it performs. The shape of the cell may change or remain the same. When the cells perform a function, the shape of the cell may change or remain the same. Cells with variable shape, some cells can change their shape like WBC, amoeba are some examples. And here some examples of cell shape: spindle shape, disc shape, branched shape, flat shape. So spindle shape is a smooth muscle fiber. It's like a thin human fingers. Disc shape, it's a round. Branched cell, it's a nerve cell, neuron. So next one, flat cell, example, skin cell. So in animal cell, smallest cell is mycoplasma. Largest cell is egg of ostrich. In human, smallest cell is RBC in NCERT point of view, but in the competitive exam point of view, it is the answer is sperm. According to scientists, human sperm cell is the smallest cell of a human body. Okay. Longest cell is neuron. Largest cell is ovum. Next one, cell number. Some organisms have one cell and some organisms have more than one cell. Based on number of cells, the organisms classified into two groups. First one, unicellular, that is single-celled body, example amoeba. Second one, multicellular, that is multi-celled body, example humans, animals, plants are multicellular organism. Next, cell structure and functions. The basic part of a cell are cell membrane, protoplasm. Cell membrane is also known as a plasma membrane. Protoplasm is a living material. The living organelles of a cell surrounded by a plasma membrane is called protoplasm. Protoplasm is basically divided into two types, that is one cytoplasm, second one nucleus. The central dense round structure in the center is known as nucleus, that is the center part is nucleus. The jelly-like substance between the nucleus and the cell membrane is known as cytoplasm. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a porous membrane known as nuclear membrane. Nucleus contains thread-like structure known as chromosome. Chromosomes carry genes and help in inheriting the characteristics of the parents of the offspring. So, gene is a fundamental unit of inheritance in living organisms. So, structural organization of a cell. Following are the three basic features that every cell possesses. First one, plasma membrane or cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm. So, first one is plasma membrane or cell membrane. Plasma membrane is the outermost covering layer of the cell. Plasma membrane allows certain material to enter inside the cell and come out from the cell. Therefore, it is known as selectively permeable membrane. It's present in animal and plant cell. It is made up of lipids and protein. Function, it provides support to cell. It provides shape to the cell. So, next one, cell wall. Plant cell have an additional protecting cover known as cell wall. It is absent in animal cell. The cell wall lies outside the plasma membrane. Likewise, it also covers plasma membrane. The cell wall made up of cellulose. The cell wall is essentially composed of cellulose, but in fungus it is made up of chitin. Second one is nucleus. Nucleus is a Latin term and its meaning is seed. The nucleus has a double layered covering which is known as nuclear membrane. It is located in center of cell. The nuclear membrane has some pores which allow certain materials come inside and go outside. The most significant feature of a nucleus is it contains chromosomes. So, the most significant feature of a nucleus is it contains chromosomes. Chromosomes are a rod-shaped structure and it is visible only when the cell is about to divide. Chromosomes are composed of DNA and protein. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA molecules contain inheritance features from parent to the next generation. DNA molecules also contain the formation of essential for constructing and organizing cells. Functional segments of DNA are known as genes. DNA is present as the part of a chromatin material. Functions of a nucleus. It controls metabolic activities. Genes help in transmission of characters from parents to offspring. Cytoplasm. So, it is a liquid material of a cell. It contains organelles. Cell consists of cytoplasm inside the cell membrane which contain many biomolecules including protein and nucleic acid. There are many structures found in the cytoplasm known as organelles. Different type of cell have a different functions and each cell organelle perform a specific function. So, this is an example of a plant cell. We can see here cell wall, cell membrane, vacuole, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, cytoplasm, nucleus and nucleolus, endoplasmic reticulum. We can see all these things in this image. I think it's clear to you. So, next one is some small colored bodies in the cytoplasm of the cell are known as plastids. So, plastids are found in different colors. Three types of plastids: chloroplastis, leucoplastids and chromoplastis. Some plastids have a green pigment and known as a chlorophyll. Green colored plastids are known as chloroplasts. Chloroplasts give green color to the leaves. Chlorophyll is essential for a photosynthesis. So, chromoplasts give various colors to the flowers, leaves and plant of a plant. Pigment which gives yellow color to the leaves, fruits and flowers is xanthophyll. Yellow color to the turmeric is due to curcumin. Pigment which gives red color to the tomato is lycopene. Pigment which gives orange color to the carrot is carotene. Is the some examples of plastids. Next one is leucoplast. Are the white or colorless plastids. It helps to store food, fat, etc. The plant does not contain chlorophyll is fungi. Apart from the nucleus, a typical cell contains other cell organelles like mitochondria, ribosome, lysosome, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, etc. So first we want to see mitochondria. Mitochondria they are a rod shaped and has double membrane. So first outer membrane is porous, inner membrane is folded to form cristae and contain small bodies, oxysomes. Cavity is filled with fluid. It contains DNA and ribosome. Function of a mitochondria is it provides energy in the form of ATP. ATP is a chemical form of energy. The full form of ATP is adenosine triphosphate. It is called as powerhouse of a cell. Vacuole, fluid filled membrane bound space are known as vacuole. In animal cell, either they are absent or if present then small in size. It is temporary. It provides rigidity of cell. It is big size in plant cell. Next one, endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum not attached with ribosome is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is attached with ribosome is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Organelles help in protein synthesis is ribosome. Next one, Golgi apparatus. These are sacced membrane having fluid filled vesicle. In plant cell it is called dictyosome. So it has a special name in plant cell. It is called dictyosome. Endoplasmic reticulum, that is ER. I have given here the short form. Endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus also help in formation of cell membrane. Next one, lysosome. They are membrane bound vesicle containing powerful digestive enzymes. They destroy foreign material. They remove worn out cells. They act as a suicidal bag. It is an important point. They can even eat up their own cell if it gets damages. So they act as a suicidal bags. Difference between plant cell and animal cell. In plant cell, cell wall is present, plastids are present, vacuole is big and permanent. But in animal cell, cell wall is absent, plastids are absent, vacuoles are present, then they are temporary and in small in size. If you want the PDF format of these notes, then please join on Vidyapeetham Telegram group. I will give you the link in the description. Thank you.